be successful. The Chargers are way up on the Jaguars, 28-0. I mean, I think with a lot of people, were not that high on the Chargers this year. Like, I didn't think, I did not see too much for them. I was kind of unsure about what was the big deal with the Chargers. But, I mean, somehow, and the Jaguars, they have some solid personnel with developing quarterback in Blake Bortles, who could be somewhat promising in the future. Like, they are a solid team, and the Falcons, and the Chargers are beating up on them by 28 points now. Very solid. So, let's see. Right now, they're attempting to go down the field right now. The Jaguars are, as Blake Bortles just completed a pass to Julius Thomas for, 17 yards, I see. Then an incompletion, intended for Lewis. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm actually watching and following this game. I am very, very surprised about this whole thing. I mean, I really am. And, because, I mean, I was a lot higher on the Jaguars. Hey, but it is one game. I don't know, like, what the rest of this means. They could even come back. And you know what I think should really come back is what am I trying to say? The Indianapolis Colts here. I mean, Andrew Luck, he is trying his best. But people are getting injured. They're getting beat up left and right. And, I mean, the people, like, let's be honest, the people he has aren't even that good. Like, the people he has are, I mean, anyone, like, whenever Andrew Luck's that monster contract gets up, I mean, I'd be looking out. I really would be. Because Andrew Luck deserves better than T.Y. Hilton. Or maybe, like as his targets. He doesn't deserve better. He needs better. I mean, he's no Tom Brady. He's a very, very good quarterback, but he is no Tom Brady. Oh, and see, he just tied it up there. It was 6-13. Now it's 12-13. And this is an interesting tweet there by Mike Wales, NFL. I mean, the trust level Andrew Luck has in Philip Dorsett is incredible. He throws it up and lets the second-year receiver go get it. I mean, I don't think it's the trust he has in him, but it's the trust he's forced to have in him because he has no other real options. That is the important thing. So, like he needs to have that. And a big, big blow as the extra point ties it up now for this game. DeMarcus Ware was injured in the Andrew Luck scramble there. That's going to be a big blow. This defense for the Broncos to have any success in terms of winning games needs to be healthy. I mean, Trevor Siemian is not guiding a banged up secondary very far at all. Like that is for sure. I mean, he's not getting them anywhere if they don't have Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, Aqib Talib. Like, they need the secondary for success in Denver. There's no doubt about that. And, yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. So, just looking through here, Titans coming back on the Lions. To me, that was probably one of the most more impressive things on the day. With Marcus Mariota using the weapons he has, which are not too potent. So, big shout out to Marcus Mariota on that one. So, there. And so, yeah, they did rally on a second TD pass to Andrew Johnson with about 13 left, lifting the Tennessee Titans to a 16-15 win over the Detroit Lions. So, let's see. 238 passing yards for Marcus Mariota, 260 for Stafford. Completion percentage for Mariota was, let's see here, was about 75%. And I mean, don't get me wrong, these quarterbacks did very, very, very well. But the thing is, Let's see here. I'm just going to pull this up. Stafford took more passes and completed about 50% of his passes, which is not very good at all compared to what Marcus Mariota did, 75. I mean, I really do think there is some serious potential, some serious game in both of these two young quarterbacks from last year's draft class. And I don't know about the year before that draft class, but I mean, these are definitely promising options, no doubt. And the Buccaneers and the Titans should be proud about what they've scooped up in the draft, because it is really not that bad. So, gotta consider. They do have to probably consider themselves pretty lucky there. So anyway, so you know that wasn't the only game that got pretty interesting. Steelers 24-16 over the Bengals. That's a pretty surprising margin of victory here. The Steelers grind their way past the Bengals 24-16, so maybe it wasn't as close as it seems. I mean, gotta be honest, I was out doing stuff, so I did not watch any of these games. So we have the recap here. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals, believe it or not, and I know they've had a little bit of trouble with this in the past, they've actually stuck to football this time. Yeah, you don't see that from Vontaze Burfict, got himself under control, which is very good. Ben Roethlisberger's sharp second half gave the Steelers an early leg up in the race for the AFC North title by shaking off a pair of first-half interceptions to finish with 259 yards and 3 scores, and Pittsburgh held up on a 24-16 win on Sunday. D'Angelo Williams turned out 94 yards on a career-high 32 carries and added a 4-yard touchdown to grab with 6:48 remaining to give the Steelers now 2-0 Steelers all the breathing room they would possibly want. Let's see how the teams. I just want to see how the teams in New York did. Oh, the Giants 2-0, banging out an impressive win over the Saints. We'll get to that when we come to it. Let's see. Yeah, so that is a pretty impressive and a pretty big win over the Bengals team, which is a very, very well-built team. And looks like they just, I mean, none of the teams just played a particularly good game, but they just had, like the Steelers just scored when they had to score, the Bengals not so much. That's what I think really decided this game in the end. So, yeah, as we continue to just slide our way into the NFL games, as they say, and here on Finish Line, Chiefs and the Texans also played. That probably was not one of the games you were too highly focused on, but anyway. 49ers also played the Panthers, and they 46-27, the Panthers routed them. And that really was to be expected, especially with the big national game, tough loss factor. I think that was a big problem. That was a big flaw. Like, when a good, solid, and, well, even incredible team like the Panthers are, loses in the way they lost to the Denver Broncos in Thursday Night Football last week, there is no doubt there will be extreme motivation, let's just say, for the Carolina Panthers to get a leg up and even win the game as they did. And, like, we all knew they were going to win. The 49ers are the much better. The Panthers the much better team. And Cam Newton threw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns, and the Carolina Panthers overcame 4 turnovers to beat the San Francisco 49ers 46-27 in their home opener. I mean, yeah, for all those people like, oh, it's Chip Kelly. He's dividing the locker room once more. I mean, you got Blaine Gabbert with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, 17 for 36, which, I mean, amounts to, what is it, a 47% completion rate at the helm. You're not going to do too much. Like, let's be, like, Blaine Gabbert, he is not the quarterback you need to be a contender. Colin Kaepernick is not either. And Carlos Hyde, was on top with the rushing yards. He did 34 yards in 14 carries. Oh, Whitaker crushed him. 16 carries and 100 yards. McDonald had one reception for 75 yards and one touchdown. Greg Olsen had 5 receptions, 122 yards and a touchdown. I mean, like, you could just tell by the stats here. They played so much better, the Carolina Panthers did. And, I mean, that really was to be expected. They probably came out on top of their game after that tough loss earlier. Maybe all the Carolina Panthers need was to play someone other than the Denver Broncos. I mean, those were what their last 2 games were against. The league's top-scoring offense from a year ago returned to form Sunday. Newton threw for 350 yards, just all around an incredible performance. Dolphins play the Patriots. It's going to be a big blow for Jimmy G's injury. Upcoming Packers and the Vikings and the Eagles and the Bears. I'm going to give my predictions on these quickly. It's a tough. I think the Packers will get the edge over the Vikings. Aaron Rodgers is just going to dismantle and totally outplay the Vikings offense with of course, the Vikings offense has the absence of their big guy, their big number one, Teddy Bridgewater. He is out and down for the count, as I'm sure you know, as he was injured in the preseason. And as I'm sure you know. And so I don't think it's going to be a very close one tonight on NBC. But it could be a little bit different with the Eagles and the Bears. It's not going to be very good football at all. At all. And the Eagles play the Bears. None of them are good teams. The Eagles should have lost, but they played against the Browns, so they won. The Browns could very well go over 16. I wouldn't be surprised. Chicago's getting the edge in this one, 58.5% according to ESPN's matchup predictor from the ESPN FPI. 58.5 to 41.1. So it is going to be a close game. It's going to be Carson Wentz versus Jay Cutler, and I mean, I really am kind of wondering about this. Let's see. The Eagles are favored by 3 points. That's interesting. And let's see, preview. Let's get a preview on this game because I mean, I really want to. For all the people who are out there checking out the podcast, I really want to provide the best information that I can on this whole subject. Let's see. I mean, he won't catch the Bears by surprise. I don't think Carson Wentz is going to catch the Bears by surprise. I don't think that will be. But, I mean, he could. I mean, he scored in his NFL debut against the Philadelphia Eagles, but hey, that was against the Browns. So it kind of takes away a little bit of everything. Now, the strong-armed rookie quarterback will have an opportunity to showcase his skills under the lights. He'll play his first primetime game against the 0-1 Bears on Monday night. So, I mean, I do think that will be interesting. His jersey, by the way, shot to number 1 on NFL online sales. That's actually pretty good. I mean, considering he's Carson Wentz, but he's only played one game, and that game was against the Browns. I mean, that kind of puzzled me. It's not like he's a big personality or anything. I mean, just I'd read that random fact. I'm like, that's a little weird. Like, I mean, I'm a little confused by the fact that Carson Wentz has the best-selling jersey out of all these people. I mean, I really am. So, VP Joe Biden encouraged President Obama to get on the Wentz wagon. Instead, Obama, an ardent Bears fan, joked that he would visit Philadelphia and scout out what all the fuss was about. That's interesting. So, just read that there. And yeah, that's going to be interesting. That is going to be, I think, a pretty tightly contested game there against. I mean, you know what? I think I'm going to go with a rookie bringing new blood into the team for the Eagles. I get them with a win. So Eagles and the Packers are the winners of the last 2 games of NFL Week number 2. That's my predictions right there.